Greetings to everyone present here. This is Sai Kirtna and I am here to play the role of the introducer of the host. She is an 8th grader in Marg Vidyalaya School and is hosting her second Pick-a-Book session. She has been a member of Story Carpet by attending both the creative writing and public speaking workshops. She has won many trophies and medals in sports and also in competitive exams like the Olympiad. She had also reached district level in athletics. Her hobbies are cooking and singing, in which she is really good at. Let's now welcome our host, Nikita, for today. The stage is all yours, Nikita. Rock the session.
Thank you, Sai Kirtana, for the intro. Hi, hello, and greetings. Good morning. Happy Sunday, everyone. Welcome back to a new innovative Pick-a-Book session. I'm privileged and grateful to be a host for today's session. I'd like to welcome everyone. Hope everyone is doing well. To introduce myself, I'm Nikita from Tamil Nadu, Chennai. I would like to play sports, sometimes talking silly. I'm also XCOM member been a while. How are you guys doing?
We are doing great, Nikita.
I hope everyone is doing fabulous and fantastic. Let me give a terse introduction about Pick-a-Book. Pick-a-Book is a completely free online book review club innovated by the children for the children among the age group of 10 to 16 years. Our mission is to create a community of young readers who are in their tens and motivated to more people to read books and enhance their knowledge and creativity. We have session every alternate Sunday from 10 a.m. to 11 a.m. with 3 eminent reviewers, 3 evaluators, one storyteller, word creator, quiz master, and joke master. Hope you all are excited to go forward. So let us start our session. Let us start our session with a crack joke. What is faster? What is faster, hot or cold?
Can you repeat?
What is faster, hot or cold?
Hot?
Yeah, it's correct because we can't catch cold. We can't catch hot. So, how does a penguin build his house? I repeat the question. How does a penguin build his house? Anybody? How does a penguin build his house?
Can you see the joke?
It glues it together.
Yeah, correct. So now let's move on to the session. Do you guys know what the theme for today's session?
The theme is how to review a book.
Yeah. Who loves to read book and who is your favorite author?
I'm a very big bookworm and my favorite author is J.K. Rowling and I'm a big fan of the Harry Potter series.
Okay. Anyone?
Yes, my favorite book is The Diary of Wimpy Kids and this about that. Me and my brother. And the author of that is Jeff King.
Okay. How long it's been to reading book for you guys?
I sometimes read.
Having the.
Can you repeat?
I have been having the interest of reading this Diary of Wimpy Kid when I was in 5th, I think.
Okay. Who motivated you to read books?
Definitely my brother.
Okay. Okay.
Because he is a bookworm and he also reads Jeff Kinney.
Okay. Okay. Thank you, Amuda, for answering. So now let's now here almost everyone is reading books. So now here are a specialty of reading books. Reading books can help to release stress And reading helps to stimulate your mind and divert your focus for problems that are responsible for your stress. A book has the power to take you to other realms and fill your mind with positivity. Okay, so now I told you about specialty. Here are few facts about books. There are around 130 million published books. The most sold book is Bible, and the longest book in the world is Remembrance of Things Past. The most expensive book in the world is the Codex Leicester, and the first ever story written was the Epic of Gilgamesh. Now let's move on to the session. Today's session, here are the roles for today's session. Host myself, first reviewer is Afrin, second reviewer is Amuda, and third reviewer is Sai Kirtana. And evaluator for Afrin is Imran, and evaluator for Amuda is Mitra, and evaluator for Sai Kirtana is Hansim. And impromptu creator is Sai Kirtana, word creator is Jugal, vote of thank is Krishana, and joke master is Kartik. So let's start with reviewing part. So our first reviewer of this session is Afrin. Afrin, the screen is yours. Afrin, the screen is yours.
Thank you. This is M.H. Afrin Miraz. Today I am here to review a book named A Biography of Florence Nightingale. Florence Nightingale was a personality who was unknown to many of them. She is well known for women empowerment in historic times. I read this book for my English club and I took this book in my school library. I like to rate this book 5 out of 5. And I recommend this book to the person who loves patience. Thank you.
Who is your favorite favorite character, Afrin, in the book?
Florence Nightingale.
Okay. Who is the author for the book?
There is no author for the book.
Okay. So our second reviewer for the session is Amuda. Amuda, you can start.
Yes. Good morning, everybody. And yes, today's book that I'm going to be written by Meredith Costain. So this is
Amuda, your
very
voice is
simple
breaking.
language. It has very simple language. Everybody can understand. Once Ella's favorite teacher, Mrs. Wister,
Amuda, your voice is breaking.
role. In this buildings, the captain
Amuda?
Nikita, meanwhile, you can go with the next viewer, Rishita.
Yeah. Our third reviewer for the session is Rishita. Rishita, the screen is yours.
Yes. Okay.
Hi everyone, good morning. So I am Rishita and today I am here for reviewing the book titled Here, There and Everywhere. It is an enthralling novel written by Sudha Murthy. She is a prolific author in Kannada and English. She has written over 24 books that have been translated into several languages, which include a variety of genres. Sudha Murthy has truly captivated the minds of her young audience with her mesmerizing work. She knew the importance of education to uplift the society and worked towards implementing the same. Out of her many books, my favorite book is Here, There, and Everywhere. It is a combination of various emotions, values, ethics. All the chapters are incidents which happened in her life. Each and every chapter teaches us a life lesson. In one of the chapters, Sudha Murthy describes a train journey where she meets a girl who was hiding under a seat. The ticket collector saw her and he decided that she has to get down in the next station. But Sudha Murthy was moved by her innocence, so Sudha Murthy paid for her ticket. She asked the girl where she was from and what she was doing in the train. The girl did not even utter a word. She sat down silently in a corner. And if you want to know more if that girl spoke with Sudha Murthy or not, did she tell her where she was from and why she was hiding under a seat, please read the book. This is my favorite chapter. I would recommend this book because it provides us motivation and inspiration to achieve any goal. You can understand moral values through life instances. So thank you so much for listening to me patiently.
Thank you, Rishita. It was fabulous. How much would you rate this book?
On the scale of 10, I would give 10 on 10.
Okay, thank you for reviewing. Thank you, every reviewers, for reviewing for the session. Now, let's welcome our chief guest of our session, Vani Pradeep ma'am, who is here to teach us how to review a book in a manner way. She is experienced 17 plus years in content writing, motivative writer and speaker, director, World Poetry Canada International, and international poet. University of British Columbia for World Peace, and a completely partner and global communication specialist. I welcome you, ma'am. Hello, ma'am.
Hello, hi, how are you all?
I'm fine, ma'am. How are you?
I'm fine. Nice meeting you all after a long time.
Yes, ma'am.
So it was nice to hear your friends and your partners review some of the books which they have read. Good going. There are some very essential parts to review a book. So initially, I would like to tell you one thing. Whatever you do, you need to put effort, right? So as children, as elders, parents, as teachers, all of us have to throw in some effort in order to get results for something, right? So whatever you are doing, whatever work you're doing, whether you're studying or you're playing or you're reviewing a book or you're planning to write a book, everything needs an effort. So you have to invest that effort from your end to get the result out of it. And every time you make an effort, you're going to get a result. If not immediately, in the near future or in a little later future. So you keep on working on your skills, whatever it is, whether it's writing or reviewing a book. So keep on working on your skills, learn new skills, implement it. You can grow as better students, as better human beings, better people. And every effort showed will have a result. That is one rule. The second rule I would like to share is only if you put effort, you will get results out. So to write a book is a very, very huge task. I'm sure many of you in this session who have tried to write few chapters, or tried to write your own complete book, I'm very sure you would have gone through a lot of ideas, a lot of excitement, then exploring new words, new feelings, new thought processes which you want to put into your book. So everything is a learning process. So similarly, when we review a book, we have to take a lot of care. It's like, reviewing our own book, because some other author in some other country or some other state in India has put in his or her effort and sold their time. They have invested their time to write that particular book. So how much of work they would have done, you would actually know, because you're in that particular area of Peekaboo, where you are exploring many things, learning new things, and I'm really here to appreciate the excellent and plethora of work which Ubin is better individual. So thank you very much for this wonderful opportunity in the first place. So here is a book which I had bought in the recent book fair. So the title is The Adventures of Squeaky and Briny. So there are two characters in this particular book. So this is Squeaky, a very, very clever, a very smart squirrel, and this is Dino. So both of them live with their families. So the story starts with Squeaky, the very intelligent squirrel, going into the forest to explore many things which are around it. So the nature, the water, and catching fishes, so many things. So he actually tries to explore many things which are there in the forest. So, but the parent is, as usual, concerned about Squeaky going into the forest, whether he will be safe, whether he will come back to the through the right path to the house and all that. So, when we first review a book, we should actually look into the cover page and the title. So, the title is most important for any book. Many of the books, most of the books are related to at least one aspect of the adventure inside the book. If it's a storybook, it's going to be an adventure. If it's a motivational book, it's going to be like one very important aspect in the book, the core aspect of the book, which will be put in the title. For example, there is one book by name called The Monk Who Sold His Ferrari. I don't know how many of you read this. So the monk who sold his Ferrari, it evolves around many of the life concepts which the monk, which the actual businessman goes through, and then he converts himself to a monk, and how he has, changed his way of living and his way of thinking, what he has explored in life, and what the author likes to tell about that particular character. So the monk is the character. So here, Squeaky and Dino. Squeaky is the main character because the whole story starts with Squeaky, and then one by one, he adds to his friends list. So first friend he gets is Dino. Then after getting Dino, Squeaky and Dino, both of them go into the forest exploring the adventurous forest and other animals. So the title of the book is very, very important. Then when you turn into the page, any of the first page, many of the books nowadays have this QR code. So what it says is to connect and interact with the author. So this is done by Emerald Publishers. The very first page they have given like connect and interact with the author. So how a story is important. As important as a story is the author's profile. So when you buy a book, anybody who buys a book, maybe as children, you may not look into the author, you will just get attracted to the cover page. Because this is very colorful. I met the author in person because I have also written my book for Emerald Publishers in Body Publish. So I happened to meet the author, and very first moment I saw this cover page was very, very attractive. So how the cover page is designed, that attracts. And then it's not that you have to judge a book by its cover, but it's also equally important. Then you turn behind, whenever you go, turn behind and see what's the author's profile. Nowadays, students are also authors, though they are in a certain grade of schooling, 7th grade or 6th grade. They have some other equivalently, prospects with talents which they nurture upon. Some child may be a sports person and also be an author. Some child may be an artist and also be an author. So whenever you make a book review, I suggest that you say the title of the book and you also mention about the author, maybe 2 or 3 lines about the author. Because this person is a full-time engineer, and then she has been into information technology. She's a postgraduate in human resource management. She's a passionate reader since her childhood. So being a reader is very, very important for an author. So even, for example, when you're writing a book, you may not be interested in reading somebody else's creativity. But your past years, you would have read, compulsorily you would have read and gone through several books, at least a minimum of 10 to 20 books. And that somebody might have inspired you and you would have started writing, and somebody else, your teacher or your coach or your motivator would have told you that you are good at writing. writing, you should write a book. So some inspiration would be there. So for her, her inspiration is being a reader from childhood. And then she was regular at college library. So that's another hitch point. No? So how is the author? Who is the author and how is she? That plays a very important role on how good the book is going to be. So that's another thing we have to do. So first the title, then you mention about the author, then you go into looking like how many pages are there in the book. That's a very, very important information. Whenever you do a book review, it's very important to tell how many pages are there in the book. This book runs to about 197 pages. And whatever number of pages you mention is excluding of the foreword, then the dedication page and acknowledgements and thanks. It's exclusive of that and it's understood. So this book has 197 pages. So when you do a book review, somebody who's listening to you will try to calculate in their mind, depending on the reading speed. So 197 pages, if I'm able to read only 10 pages a day. So it will take, like, for example, round it off to 200 pages. It will take 20 days for them to finish this book. If they're a fast reader, they read 30 pages per day. So accordingly, they will calculate. So instead of 20 days, they will finish the book in 10 days. So it's very, very important, I see, to tell the number of pages the book has. Then also you can mention about the dedication. No? She says, for my family and dear friends. So which means her family and friends and well-wishers have always been her support in whatever she has done with the writing arena. And then when you go over to the main story, in the first place, you should try and give a gist about the whole story. So this story is about, as I told you, the story, you will say like, it's about two friends, Squeaky and Dino. Squeaky is the main character, and then she gets the friendship of Dino. They go into the forest, exploring waters and forest. And every additional chapter is an introduction of a new character. Like a rabbit becomes a friend or a snake becomes a friend, and then they have an adventurous chat with them. They go exploring their house and something like that. No? And then try to find food, then finish their food, and then evening both Dino and Squeaky get back to their home. So, and also when you tell about the main character, you can also mention there are about how many chapters are there in totality in this particular. So that's also important. That if you can see in the contents, it will give you the number of chapters, right? So it has about 8 chapters, this whole book. And another beautiful thing which this author has done is she has given a particular moral as the title for the whole chapter. First thing she has said is a friend in need is a precious friend indeed. So that is the moral itself she has given as the chapter's name. The second chapter is a day well spent. Third chapter is first adventure in the wild. So the second and third chapters have the moral placed at the end of the chapter. Also something very creative. She has tried to put in pictures. So I think this has been painted by the author or maybe her friends, and then they have put it up here. So what, in addition to the story, to the main character, and to the adventure in this whole book, what additional is there in this book you can mention? There is a story, I mean, if there is a picture, you can tell there is a pencil sketch, or there is a painting, which is accompanying each of the chapters. Each chapter she has used. So it looks very colorful and for example, I've noted down page number 67. When you talk about a book review, when you mention about the creativity in the book, you can also tell about which page, which picture is very impressive according to you as a reader. Since you're reviewing a book, you're one step ahead of the actual reader. So for example, look at this. In a children's book, having such a colorful picture is very attractive. So when you just swipe through this book, you land up at this page and then you're very impressed. You say, oh, I love this book so much. I'm going to start reading it from the first. Or you say, I will read this chapter first and then go back from page 1 and then read the rest of the chapter. And also there's one more page, 130. It's a nice scene. There are another set of friends with Squeaky and Dino. So this is a nice thing also. That picture was also attractive. And one more is page number 180. So like this, one out of pictures, you can actually mention and then let them know that there is something very different in this book. And another additional point I would like to say is when there is a story, whether it's a serious story or a playful story or just a very lightweight story, anything which is accompanied with photograph or a painting or a pencil sketch or a drawing is very, very attractive. And particular character and a particular chapter you'll be able to detail in your mind much better when you relate it to a picture. That's usually the mentality of the mind to have it that way. So the more the colorful the book is, the better it is for children to relate to it. So for you and for your friends who are yet to get introduced to book reading, get to get introduced to book reviewing, or yet to get introduced into your club, pick a book club. So it's going to be really different. And I would like to share a few points here. You could also mention about the split of the chapters. So each of the chapters, is it connected to each of them, or it's going to be a separate story? See, how it is connected here is every day is an adventure. So daily they have an adventure, and all the chapters have the connectivity of Dino and Squeaky to some other character. So in all the chapters, Dino and Squeaky appear. Only in the first chapter, Dino doesn't appear because this gets introduced, and then from the second chapter, there is a whole lot of adventure. So what is the connectivity? Is there a sequential story from chapter 1 to chapter 8 or chapter 1 to chapter 30 that you can mention in a book review? That also I think is very important. Otherwise, if the chapters are individual, independent of each one is a short story on its own, which has different characters. So you can mention that there are about 10 chapters or 8 chapters in this book, but each of them is individually having a separate story. So there is each is a new story, something like that. Instead of saying that there is no connectivity, only for those books have a connection between chapter 1, chapter 2, chapter 3, sequential arrangement, then you can see there's a sequential story for the whole book. If they are individual chapters, you can say that each chapter is a new story. So you can have new experience, you can discover new things, you can think in your mind in a very creative, in a very illustrious way how the character appears. So it's the mind which thinks, right? So you may, if there is no picture of this Squeaky and Dino in this book, for example, you may have the imagination of Dino in a particular way, Squeaky in a different way. I may have it in a different way. So this is very good that you should be appreciative of the characters being presented in a picturesque manner. That's one point. Then the creativity which is involved in the book. How creative it is. This book particularly, it has stories, it has a moral, it has pictures. So these three things are creative on the creative side. Some books will have only the story. It may not give a moral, it may not give a picture. So you can always mention about the creativity in a particular book if it is valid. Then whether the conversation within the characters is it given within inverted commas. Because here, every chapter, there are about 5 to 10 dialogues here and there. Every paragraph of the chapter has a dialogue. The first chapter, where Squeaky speaks to his mother, there is a dialogue between them. So that particular sentence is between inverted commas. But the rest of the conversation is the author is telling the reader. So is there a conversation between the characters, or the continuity and the communication of that particular chapter is communicated directly to the reader? That you can mention. And the characterization of each character in this particular story. You can mention about, for example, as I told you, Squeaky is a very smart and clever spirit. Dino is a very playful dinosaur. So you can mention one or two characteristics about that particular core character which occupies the main storyline. And you can also refer to particular instances which you had liked as a reader. So that's a very important point as a reviewer. For example, if you're watching a movie, how creative you will be in giving certain scenarios. For example, Way of the Water, Avatar Way of the Water, when I wrote the I also do movie reviews. When I wrote the movie review, I specifically mentioned which portion of the movie impressed me a lot. The first time when they try going into the water and exploring that they have the skills to swim. So they were just learning. Those people who come from the other land, they're just learning from the new image how to swim in water because they have not been exposed to swimming. Similarly, just relate that to a particular instance which impressed you very much in this particular book which you are reviewing, that you can express to the reader, to your written review. That's very, very important. And also conclusion of the entire book. If it's a very differential conclusion, you can say, this is how the story started, this is how the story ended. This is very nice and interesting to know. You should not give the conclusion of the story because otherwise the suspense goes away. You have to mention like in a very differential manner, in a very unique manner, which where you will not mention the conclusion. So Harry Potter, finally Harry Potter dies and then the whole Harry Potter series comes to an end. That's how they have, let out the ending of Harry Potter when the final movie came. But we shouldn't be doing that. We should tell something very different. You can say like, for example, Squeaky and Dino. So finally, both of them go and get caught with the that's not there in the story. I'm just giving an imagination here. So finally, Squeaky and Dino get caught with a bear. So how are they escaping? This is the kind of conclusion which has been given in the book, which if you read you will know as a reader what has actually happened and what is really the conclusion. It's very, very interesting for me as a reader. So that kind of a mentioning you can do. So you will also keep the audience intact. Okay, there's something different. This book has something beautiful and more different. So we can read this. So these are the kind of, the way we have to do a book review. And also dedication, as I told you, dedication. And sometimes you can also mention about the foreword. Some writers have very exclusive forewords from very senior people. So that you can mention. So this book has got a foreword from so person who is an IAS officer, something like that. So who are in a very higher level, higher cadre. If they have given the foreword, you can certainly mention it. And this is how the entire book review, A to Z, starting from the cover page till the last page, till the wrapper, till the back wrapper. If you can give this lengthy thing in a shortened version, 5 minutes, you can quickly give. It will form a very beautiful book review. It will be very interesting for the prospective readers to buy the book and read. I recommend that this book should be bought and read. It's very well written. English is good, easy to understand, and very beautifully characterized Dino and Squeak. If you have any doubts, you can I will.
Can we also rate the book? Like I rate it on 5 on 5, 10 on 10.
Yes, you can rate a book. Yes, of course. According to you.
Yes.
You have certain fixed pointers in your mind. The pointers which I told, number of pages, the creativity, the sensation which the story creates. So probably you can give a marking. Yes. Out of 10, how much you feel you can give as a book reviewer. That'd be nice. Usually that's what we do on Amazon reviews. Out of 5, there is a marking.
Okay.
What about mentioning the rate of the book?
Yeah, you can mention the rate of the book. So this book has so many pages and this costs about so much that you can mention. For example, this book is about nearly 400 pages and the cost of the book, which is really good costing with colored pages also. So you can say it has. So you can include that according to, in relation to the price also.
Okay, ma'am. Thank you.
can also mention, like, if I take this book, in this book, we can also write that Scholastic has published it.
Yeah, that's what I told you. It's very important to mention the publisher's name as well, because certain publishers, few of them are new to the field, so it's good that you get the publisher's name so that slowly they are being recognized in the industry. But many of them go to established traditional publishers, whose name, if you mention, they will be more confident. Okay, this is the publisher. Okay, Bloomsbury, I'm very fine to buy. Rupa, I'm fine to buy. Emerald Publishers, I'm fine to buy, because all of these people are like established market leaders. So it's good to mention the publisher's name.
Okay, ma'am.
Is anyone interested to ask question? Thank you, ma'am, for spending time with us, and thank you for letting us to know how to review a book in a proper and manner way. Thank you, ma'am.
Welcome. All the best for your future book reviews, and be good readers as well. You get a lot of knowledge and you gain a lot of knowledge, and you can become more creative by reading more.
Ma'am,
It seems Nandini
ma'am,
has.
actually Nandini is interested to ask you a question.
Yes, of course.
Yes, ma'am. So my first question is about the purpose of reviewing a book. For example, when I review a book, when I share it with others, my purpose may be to enable others to read the book, or my purpose may be to give them a summary of what I learned from the book. So in case of the first one, if I want to enable them to read book, like you mentioned, if I mention the page numbers and all, it will help them to make a decision. But
Yes.
if I give them the chapter-wise conclusion, it will dilute the interest, right?
Yes, chapter-wise conclusion. One is you're reviewing each of the chapters individually. That will be slightly on the negative side for the writer, because the writer always does a lot of work to imagine new things and then give a very different conclusion for each of the chapter. So instead of giving each chapter conclusion, you can say each chapter is independent of the previous chapter and the forthcoming chapter. You can also maybe mention like chapter 1 deals with so and so. For example, when I told you about this book, I did not reveal to you exactly what is there in the chapter. The only first chapter for the review alone, I told you that a friend in need is a precious, has something in it. Chapter 2, a day spent well. So you can maybe give the chapter name instead of giving the contents of the chapter.
Sure, ma'am. Thank you.
Because as a reviewer, I should be in a position to make you more eager to read the book. That's my purpose. For example, whatever I've done the review for Adventures of Weekend, I know for few of you it may be crowd puller. You may be now inquisitive to read what is there. Ma'am has mentioned only the first chapter. What is in chapter 2? What are the characters which are there coming up into chapter 3? So that's the kind of inquisitiveness we have to give the reader. Only when we give that, the reader will actually buy the book and read. It's not only going to help the author or the publisher, it's going to help another person, a new person, read a new book. Rather than keep on reading, already published books, or some people go into reading the same book twice or thrice. For example, Harry Potter, some of you may be so crazy about part 2 or part 3, and you would like to read that particular book. Now, a few of them like the Sorcerer's Stone, so they go on reading that, like after 2 years, in long time. I love that. So instead of that, you should try to explore new books, new publishers, and new writers, so that you also know the variety which is inclined to each of the new writers, variety which is there in the language, in the characterization, the creativity.
Ma'am?
Yes.
Ma'am, other than this book, can you recommend a new book for all of the members in this session so that we can read and explore
Good one. This, yeah, I bought this book for my son. Very, very nice. And I saw a very nice book review about this in the Hindu newspaper. This was sometime when we just came out of pandemic. So it's called The Best Short Stories Ever. It's edited by Terry O'Brien and the publisher, give me a minute, Westland Book. So probably you can take a note of this. Best short stories ever. It gained worldwide recognition, what I said.
Thank you, ma'am.
Yeah. You can also try reading my book. It's called Soul Feeder 2.0. I'll just show you the cover page of it. This book has already been reviewed by one of your friends in Speaker Book Club. It's called Soul Feeder 2.0, and it's based on 5 years of research. It has a plethora of information for all age groups, not like only college students should read it or only married women should read it, nothing like that. It's very generalistic and it has 35 powerful life concepts. And this book has gained the Influencer Book of World Records and one record created in October for the earlier version of the same book, and the second record created on February 17th this year, and the earlier record has been broken. This book has a life concept. It helps you to understand your life better because life is not very easy, and at the same time, we cannot say life is too tough. The way we handle and we look at life is how life is going to help us. So if we give good words to the world, if we do goodness, good things to the world around us, somebody from somewhere or some particular event which is happening will come in favor of us. Even if we don't go and ask for help openly, the help will come to us at the right time, right moment. So we need not fear life. We should take life in a very friendly basis and then live life. So this is how this book has been made. So also this book is like a mirror. So if you look at this book, it's like a mirror. It will show you your present life. It will also show you your recent past, and it will also help you know certain things what you have to do in the future, certain instances which you not yet come across. For example, the fear of facing the exam and examination. So fear is a one factor which keeps us away from exploring new things. For example, if any of you in this group are fearing to review a book, maybe some of the tips what I gave you today is like, okay, it's not going to be difficult. Let me try. So next time when you have a session, somebody who's not yet done a book review will try to do a book review. So that's how life itself happens. So we should try new things. We should explore new things. Don't be scared. If you are scared, make sure you speak to somebody whom you think will give you that bravery. You have it all within you, but you also need some motivation from external sources, like your mother, your father, or your teacher. These are the three best people as you grow in your school days to give you the best advice possible. And the teachers, like, they really nurture. And one of the main reasons why I'm here as a successful author, as a book reviewer, and I have two other things which I'm doing on my own. So why I'm so successful is because of the backing of my teachers, how they have groomed me and brought me to where I am today, breaking shares, taking odds. I'm a very stage-fearing person. But once I started writing my book, I decided I should not fear the stage. Instead, I should take the mic, speak, explore myself. And I used to follow many of them who are into motivational speaking. So all that is in my mind. I don't follow them now because I'm very skeptical that I don't want to, given any of the thoughts which they have explored. I have to give new content to the world. So I keep on exploring into my life. Take my life as an example. Take my friend's life as an example and give things to it. So break the fear is a very, very important concept. So all that is there in this book. Happiness and how to face life more boldly. Okay. For example, any one of you, you can give me a particular page number between 1 and 243. That particular page which you are telling will have a concept or a title or a content which applies to your present life or your immediate past life. You can check that in this is called a universal energy game which I have conceived with you. Any of you like to guess the page number?
Can I
Yes.
know?
Sorry?
The page number, can I know?
10. Page number,
Maybe the 10th page.
yeah, page number 10. It says to preface all this. It starts, this is related to a chapter which is titled as Getting Prepared Body and Soul. And page number 10 says to get your body and soul prepared, your approach to thinking and action should be positive. That's why we have read in many scripts that one should listen to the conscience rather than the mind. The mind has preconceived notions and ideas which may lead the being into an out of focus mode. But the conscience is one which filters the negatives and filth attached to any thought, and it will give you a fresh soul. So remember to preface your thought process with a positivity. So it's about positivity.
While reviewing a book, we can also tell about the age group, right? Like which age is it suitable for reading? Okay.
Certainly, a few books like motivational books are like, spread out for a lot of age groups from 10 to 50, 10 to 70. But many of the books, like story books, are specific to age.
Yes.
So thank you, ma'am, for coming to this session and telling us how to review a
And
book.
all the best to all of you. Keep reading and reviewing and grow bigger and brighter.
Thank you, ma'am.
Once again, thank you, ma'am, for spending time with us.
I think, Nikita, you can go with Amuda as she
Yeah.
didn't review yet.
Amuda, you can start to review.
Yes. Once again, good morning, everyone, and I'm Amuda here. Today, so I'm going to be reviewing this book, Ella Diaries, Friends Not Forever. This book is written by Meredith Caustic. It's all about Ella's secrets that happens at schools. So this book is very simple language. It has very simple language. Anybody can understand this language. This has too many pictures and it just scribblings or drawings or what should I say? Just small emojis or something like that. And once what this story is actually based on, Ella's favorite teacher once told them that there's going to be a school play, and the story for the play was Pirates of the Caribbean. So Ella is always very fond of pirates, and she wanted to play the main role of Mabel Diggs, the captain. The Mabel Diggs is the captain because she sings, she dances, she does pirate stuff like sword fighting. One of the bad girls in her class, Peach Parker, is trying to stop Ella from succeeding. Zoe ends up winning the prize part. Zoe spends all her time rehearsing with a new girl, Amethyst. And so Ella tells her BFF, Zoe, to practice with her new BFF. Oh no, will Ella and Zoe patch up their friendship in time to save the play? What happens next? I would like to leave the rest as a mystery for you to enjoy reading this book. Thank you.
Thank you, Amuda. It was wonderful. Can you rate the book for out of 10?
Yes, I would give it full.
Okay, thank you, Amuda. So focusing on vocabulary is useful for developing knowledge and skills in multiple aspects of language and literacy. So let's learn a new word today. Our word teller, Jugal, can you tell the new word?
Yeah, once again, good morning. So my name is Jugal. So I am going to be a word creator. So the new word going today is ersatz. Ersatz's meaning is nothing but being a usually artificial and inferior substitute. So the sentence of ersatz is, I am allowed to eat ersatz chocolate made from carob beans.
Thank you, Jugal. Can you just paste it in the chat box?
Yes.
Yeah. So let's move on to the evaluating part. First evaluator for Imran is evaluating for Afrin, and Mitra is evaluating for Amuda, and Hansini is evaluating for Rishita. So Imran, you can start your evaluation.
Yeah.
Imran, you can start.
Yeah. Okay. So I really like that book review about Florence Nightingale. It was really good. You explained about the rating part, and you said that she's a very kind person. But actually, you could have added a little more content to extend it. You could have added a little more. And the book was good. You explained a little about it. But only if you could have added a little more content.
Imran, is it done? Imran, is it done? For evaluating part? Okay, now let's move on to the second. Oh, okay.
I'm sorry, it was actually echoing somewhere. I did not know. So I like your book review, but the only thing which you could have changed is you could have added a little more content and kept us in suspense so that we could have maybe got the interest to take the book and read it. So other than that, you said it good. Thank you.
Thank you, Imran, for evaluating. So our second evaluator is Mitra. Mitra, you can start evaluating.
Is my voice audible, Ram?
Yes.
So Amuda, actually, the way you presented was very nice, and the way you did was actually improved me also to read the book. For me, only one small query is there. That is, you could improve the way you gave a little bit, like in between. Now I'm struggling with few words, right? I'm not able to speak continuously, right? But I'm struggling little bit. I could see that a lot in you. So make your content a clear one, and what you're going to speak a clear one. Okay. In between, don't stop. So it would sometimes it would be like there. What to say? There, some people will be listening to you very clearly, and they would be like, "What is she going to say the next right?" When you stop it between, there, that listening one would get reduced the skills. So just don't stop a lot in between. Okay.
Yes.
That's it from my side. Thank you.
Thank you. Sure.
Thank you, Mitra, for evaluating. Hansini, you can start your evaluation for
So, hi Rishita and hi everyone. And I'm really big fan of Sudha Murthy. See, so Rishita, when you talked about the book, I felt so good, and I had a similar feeling that yours, the way she expressed her wonderful uh, journeys in the book, it was very nice. I really love the way you expressed all of it and how you told about the book. It was really, really good and really amazing. And everyone should really read the book. And I really thank you for bringing the book there because it's just wonderful and it gives you a lot of values in your life through Sudhamurthy's wonderful stories. Thanks, Rishita, and thanks, everyone.
Thank you so much, Hansini. Thank you.
Welcome.
Thank you, Hansini, for evaluating. Thank you, everyone, for evaluating. We are almost in the end of the session. So now let our joke master Karthik make us laugh. Karthik, the screen is yours.
Okay, thanks. So, what fruit do twins love the most? Pears.
Repeat.
What fruit do twins love the most?
Do they like pears?
Yes, correct. Why did the boy eat his homework?
Because his mom told it was a piece of cake.
No, it's apple fun.
No, the piece of the cake. What's a snake's favorite subject? His study. Why did the teacher wear sunglasses inside the school? I repeat, why did the teacher
Because
wear
the students
sunglasses?
are bright. Because the students are bright.
Correct. What happens if a frog crashes its car? It gets towed.
Thank you, Karthik, for making us laugh. So now I'm handling the session to Drishana for vote of thanks. Drishana, the screen is yours, and thank you for a great opportunity to be a host.
Thank you, Nikita. And before the vote of thanks, is anyone ready to take roles for the next upcoming session?
Yes, Trishana, I'll just message you in the chat.
Okay, for newcomers, you can take the role of reviewing, and the people who have completed public speaking sessions, you can take the role of evaluator. And if you have completed public speaking or creative writing, you can take the rest of the roles, like there are introducer role, then vote of thanks, and there is also storyteller, and many other roles are also available. So if you are interested to take any role, kindly message it in the chat box. Or Sai Kirtana, can you just ping your number? I will also ping my number at the end of the session, so you can contact me, Sai Kirtana, and Nikita. You can also just ping your number in the chat box. So thank you, everyone. And now going with the vote of thanks. So about today's session, it was a different one than the usual ones. So this time we had a special invitee, Vani ma'am. So thank you so much, ma'am, for accepting our invite, and you also gave many pieces of information, and we will also surely use it in our upcoming reviews. Thank you so much, ma'am. And about our host for today's session, Nikita, you did a great job. And after a long gap, we are taking the role of host, and you made the session in a smoother way. You took it in a very smoother way. So thank you, Nikita. And about the other role players, like the reviewing role players and evaluating role players, thank you so much. You did a great job. We had less time so we were not able to go with the other roles like quizmaster and storyteller, but the other role players, Jugal and Karthik, you did a great job. Thank you to all the role players, including reviewers, evaluators, then Karthik and Jugal, who did the role of
word creator and joke master. Thank you, Sai Kirtana. You started the session in a very proper way. And thank you so much. Thank you to all the audience. Let us all meet in the next session. And until then, this is bye from Drishana and whole team of Peekabook.
Thank you all for attending this session even on a Sunday, and let's all meet in a new session. And I and Nikita, both of us have shared our numbers. Even Drishana is about to share. So if you want to take up a role, you can message either to either one of us. Thank you all.
Thank you so much.
Thank you all for joining.
Have a nice day.
Bye.
Thank you.